George Pickens just happened. I don't think nothing else is in the works. I don't think they're looking at anything else. But Jerry specifically said they had 2 substantive trades, which means 2 separate entities that are of importance. So are we reading into that? Do we think that means anything? Or do we think that with the Pickens trade, the Cowboys are ready to just kind of be like, hey, we've done a good job this offseason. We're going to mail this thing in. How we feeling, guys?
Okay. Let's unpack that, right? I believe that Jerry meant 2 different trades. Yes, he meant that at the time. I think I attribute that more to, hey, we've also got, we're working on Bateman in the instance or event that George Pickens doesn't work out. I think it was a similar situation within those trades, not necessarily 2 different positions, though.
Okay.
Now, from that point, where would I like it to be? Assuming that it was, I told y'all, for the sake of simplicity, what I said behind the scenes was, give me the biggest defensive tackle who is the most difficult to move, and I'll take him.
Okay.
But do I think that I think the most likely, if there is one more trade, because of the way that the edge room is currently constructed and who they have at defensive tackle right now, I think they're pleased with Toia and Mazi Smith as their rotational one-techs, and I think that they are pleased, obviously, with Oso Digizua and who's
Solomon Thomas.
Solomon Thomas, yep.
Solomon Thomas with, spelling him rotation. So you really need 4 to 5 defensive tackles on any given roster.
Yeah, we got what, 3? We got what, 3
4 right now.
Okay,
4.
4
We got
right
Justin Rogers. Remember Justin Rogers?
No. So we're talking about final 53, right?
Right, yeah.
It's Osa.
Yeah.
Solomon Thomas.
Yeah.
Mazi Smith and Toia.
Yeah. That's 4.
Unless we get to camp, like we said, and they figure out, hey, Toia is not quite ready yet, because defensive tackle, in my opinion, humbly, of course, is the most difficult position to find in this sport and the slowest to translate outside of quarterback.
Right.
We can expand upon that a little bit later. But my guess is, I think they're chilling, considering they still would like to get Micah done sooner rather than later so that he can be that leader heading into camp, which we all know that he is and expect him to continue to be. I think that they really want to get that done.
I always got donation. $5. He said we'd get next Buckner, Hall, or someone else. I think if you listen to what Lando just said, your ass would have partially had that question answered. He just said he doesn't think that the Cowboys are necessarily going after a second trade. He thinks they could have been talking about 2 different trades, maybe at the same position, maybe 2 different receiver trades in the works at the same time, and whichever one came through first is the one they went with. I think that's honestly that's honestly a really good point. That's a really good point. I'm going to just hope that it's the latter, and I hope that they really are going after either a nose tackle or a veteran corner, just because I think there's one out there to be had.
I agree, and my thing is with them, they've already given like the capital that they're comfortable giving away, 4s, 5s, and 6s, right? They've kind of deposited most of that to this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Stephon Gilmore can easily come in. There's clearly that connection has already been reestablished. And so that's another one of those veterans that wants no part of training camp. So you can sign him a week or 2 before the season and trust fully that he is going to, he's going to know exactly what to do, how to operate. Oh yeah. And be another guy that's cultivating that culture for you, helping develop the younger kids that are still in the house, including Trayvon Diggs, but then also the likes of Shavon Revel Jr. and
Trayvon Diggs gonna be gone, Lando.
I know.
I'm about to say Diggs ass gonna be gone.
Yeah,
I ain't even worried about his development no more.
Just instilling that mentality, that culture. Maybe he can turn a corner, right, with his mindset. But I know we all feel, and rightfully so, that that situation may not be on the mend anytime soon. But yeah, man,
Ray,
I would say like a running back for the price. A running back for the price. That's probably the most likely if a trade was going to happen. But I wouldn't bank on it.
They said Breece Hall. No, they said no to Breece. Well, James said man, some of these reporters be wrong sometimes too. They all great reporters. All great reporters.
Nobody bats 1,000.
All great reporters, but nobody bats 1,000. Either way, let's get into the next topic because, like we said, we got to kind of speed run this. We got 10 minutes. Y'all got 10 minutes left with us. We're gonna speed run this. Next topic. What are the next steps, fellas? What are the next steps for the Dallas Cowboys? What do they need to do to put this thing over the top, or do they need to just let the guys hit the field at this point? What are we feeling? Are there any more moves that need to be made?
Get Micah extended, and then figure out your backup one-tech situation in training camp with Toia, and obviously Mazi Smith is a factor there too. And then get Shavon Revel Jr. healthy.
Okay.
Right there.
I
Okay, I like that.
both of that. I agree with all that what he said, but I want to add one thing. You got so many pass rushers on his team.
Yes.
You can't pay them all. So do you try to get some value from one of those pass rushers? Get some picks in return that you can turn.
I like where you're going.
Those picks.
I like where you're going, Ray.
You got Sam Williams. He's playing on a contract year. Coming back from an injury. You still have your second round pick from last year, Marshawn Nealon. You picked another second round pass rusher this year in Donovan. You know I butcher names, so I'm not saying his last name. You just sound
you definitely butcher names, Ray.
Dante Fowler is back again for the Cowboys on a 1-year deal. Of course, we got Micah there. Then you got Tyrus Wheat, but that doesn't matter. I mean, he may not even make the roster. So you got to see, maybe is there some way you can get some value out of one of those guys? Another name, I said this on another show, is Donovan Wilson expendable?
Yes, to that Wilson one. Should be to that one, but that's a nuanced answer. And I'm not gonna get that, but I want to say I love where your head is at with the first part of the packaging an edge for a future pick to maybe recoup what you've shelled out via some trades this offseason. Your edge room is loaded, but I will say also just a slight caveat to that for me is Marshawn Nealon is safe regardless because it's only year 2, and he is the most unlike everybody else that you just mentioned. Not named.
He sets the edge,
Exactly. Yeah. That's his superpower, which once again, physicality, run stop. That's what I want to see this team, where I want this team to take the next step. So I just personally, Lando from the Lando show, I value, like I am overvaluing physicality at this point because I'm so sick of watching us only win one-dimensionally. Yes.
Watch the sick of getting bullied.